The quotient and remainder node can be found under numeric and quotient and remainder. In this node we get two outputs, and that's our remainder and our quotient. So for example, if I was to make x a 8 and y a 4 and we run this, we see we get a 2 on our bottom output. But now if I was to make this an 8.5, let's just say, and I hit run, we get a 2, and then we also get a 0.5. So if I was to make this a 9, I hit run, I get a 2 and a 1. So in a sense what it's doing is the node is asking how many times can y go into x. So 4 can go into 9 2 times, and then the remainder is of 1. So if we were to put in a 3 and 9, we'll get a 0 and a 3, because 3 goes into 9 3 even times. But if this was 11, now we get a 3 and a 2. So that would be 3 times 3 would be our 9, and then 9 minus 11 would be our remainder of 2. The only thing to really watch out for is if y is a 0 and you run this, you get an infinity because we're dividing by 0, which does not work in LabVIEW. And then we actually just get nothing for our remainder. So this is quotient and remainder. It can be used oftentimes to find if a number is even or odd, because if you set a 2 and you run this, this should always be a 0. So if this was a 10 and you run it, this is a 0. Same with, we could do 156 and run it, it's still 0. So we could set a check on this top remainder, and if this is a 0, we now know our x is a even number. Or vice versa, if it's not 0, we know this is odd. So if we increase it by 1, we get a 1. Hope this video was helpful, and stay tuned for more.